I know you watched some of that, and Barack, you are well aware of it, but the show has created a lot of conversation in terms of how do you raise emotionally intelligent boys and what we get right and what we get wrong, not just among boys, but kids in general.
We watched it as a family. We watched the whole series as a family and enjoyed it a lot. It was really fun to hear the boys talk about, oh, you guys would have done that, or you guys wouldn't have done that. That was eye-opening as a parent. Because
they're evaluating you.
They've got the little checklist. They're evaluating our parenting, or they're evaluating their parenting based on their own.
That's a crazy thing Dad would do.
But this brings me back to Emma. Emma's trying to raise these boys, and so she's trying to be somewhere between Forever and then the other show that people are talking about, Adolescence, which I haven't watched yet, which it gets into sort of the misogyny that young boys are exposed to,
and the online,
the Manosphere.
They're getting their parenting.
They're getting their
online.
Parenting
they're getting their notions of manhood from extreme
extremists.
Extremists. How to walk with mom when you're walking down the street. Always walk on the street side.
On the street side.
Holding the door and opening the door for her, allowing her to go in. It was just things like that. Right. And then I'd have to really work at thinking of something negative that Dad did. But
well, what about? Let me ask this though. I mean, Dad also came home, put his feet up. He didn't always cook. He didn't do dishes. He didn't do.
But you have to remember that I was thinking at the time that was okay because he was at work all day and he needed to rest, and Mom was always cooking. So, but that's a good one. That's a good potential negative.
Gender roles very clear.
Very clear gender roles.
Very clear.
I think that what we need to do in order to take advantage of that is to, as a society, as communities, recognize that this kind of transition from the old models that you and I, Craig, grew up on. Just like you said, you took a lot of good stuff from your dad, but then there were some modifications that just had to be made, either because of blind spots, limits, lack of resource, what have you.
The times.
Where we joke that, talking to Malay and Sasha, sometimes they go out with their friends and, they're in a group and the guy's got crocodile arms, It's like...
Not picking up the check.
Not picking up the check. And it's like, okay, you don't have to pick it up all the time. But if you're never picking it up...
Right.
That's a problem.
Says something about you.
If you're never opening a door or pulling out a chair, because that's just common courtesy. That's just being kind, right?
Kindness.
So for those of you who do not have sons, so Emma, we are rooting for you because those of us with daughters...
We need good men.
We've got to have good guys out there, not necessarily to get married, but to make sure that what we're learning, I think, is that when we don't think about boys and just assume they're going to be okay because they've been running the world and they've got all the advantages relative to the girls, and all of which has historically been true in all kinds of ways. But precisely because of that, if you're not thinking about what's happening to boys and how are they being raised, then that can actually hurt women. And I would argue that some of the broad political trends we've seen, not just in this country, but around the world, have to do with this sense of, boys, men not feeling as if they are seen, feeling as if they count. And that then makes them more interested in appeals by folks who say, you know what, the reason you don't feel respected is because women have been doing this, or this group has been doing this, or that group's been doing this, and that is not a that's not a healthy place to be. And I will say, as quote unquote progressives, Democrats, progressive parents, enlightened ones, we've made that mistake sometimes in terms of our rhetoric.
I think we are raising all of our children to be softer than what they realistically need to be in society. And I say that, and it's been happening for a while, right? Like, I think it really started with my generation, with all of us receiving participation awards. Everyone has to be validated. Everyone's opinion matters. Let's all express our feelings, which is wonderful, right? Especially to the generation before that felt that they didn't have those things. But it's not realistic as far as helping our children grow up. Now, when it comes to men specifically, I think we're making them weak, primarily within our community by, one, having a lot of single parent households going to be there to show them what manhood looks like.
I was say, damn, JR.
How, yeah, am I in the back? Oh.
You back up here, Ty. We can see you.
Oh, okay. It says I'm backstage. I'm like, well, maybe I should be quiet. But I feel like they don't have a man in the household, first and foremost, to show them what manhood looks like and what they should expect when they get older. And as hard as women try, we can never raise a man to be a man. We can raise them for what we hope or what we wanted a man to be in our lives and try to mirror that. So I think that part is making our men softer because they're growing up off of emotions rather than realizing how to use their logic and not deal on such an emotional basis. And I also just think it's society how it is now. You can't reprimand your children, whether it's at home or even in schools, right? They don't have detention for kids anymore. They're not getting suspended for things that they do anymore. It's like our society is constantly creating this very soft, just environment for all of our children. And because of that, they're coming into the world and thinking that they can do whatever they want and there are no repercussions to it. And everyone should care about how they feel and what they want to do. And that's just not the reality. Right. And so they run into a lot of issues, like a lot of our young Black men are running into issues with the law or dealing with explosive emotions because they don't know how to control themselves. So that's what I kind of get from it. I don't think it's just boys that this impacts. I think it impacts all children, but it's definitely seen in our young men.
All right, go ahead, Bo. What are your thoughts about that? Do you think?
Can I come back to the regular panel? I don't like this. You're on the backstage thing. It still says I'm in the backstage.
Refresh your page. It might.
Okay.
And then bring it back up.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh.
I thought we might see the baby oil. Go ahead,
That
Bo.
was sleep stuff, ain't it?
I am going to have to vehemently disagree with that. I think that we are raising our children to see humanity. Does that require a certain level of sensitivity? Yeah. Because you have to be able to see other people's humanity and empathize with them. We are not raising our young men or our young women to be soft. We are raising them to realize what the world is as a whole. Young men are starting to be able to actually control their emotions. Our young people are actually starting to stand up for themselves in the way that we never have. They do not take just whatever you give them. And they do have a lot of feelings, but so did we. We just ignored them because our parents wouldn't let us have our feelings because they told us that children ain't got nothing to worry about, what y'all got to stress about because you just a child. And that's not true. We are actually raising our children to be strong, and it looks soft to us because they do have a lot of feelings, and they are making you respect their feelings and all of the things that they go through, because children actually do go through things. I think that somewhere along the line, we grow up so much and become so much of an adult that we forget what it's like to be a child. So we can't empathize with children, and we think that they're not going through anything. But I think that these babies that we are raising right now, they are going to be some of the strongest of the society. And it looks different to us. It looks softer to us. But just watch when these kids grow up. And being in a single parent household has zero to do with the sensitivity or the softness of a boy. Women raise strong men all the time. It's called the community. Women get community. They rally all of the people that they have around them. Women get all of the resources that they have with all of the people. Women supplement them not having a father in the household with men in their life. They get their boys mentors. They do have male influence. Just because they're a single mother does not mean that they are not gathering people in order to make their child whole, just like fathers do. Single fathers have to get their community together of women because they have to influence their daughters because they know they can't do it alone. It's called community. Single parent households mean absolutely nothing because they raise some of the best people, not because they're single parents, but because they have to. They don't have a choice. So I don't think that we are raising soft children. I think that we're raising aware children, and I think that we're raising children that advocate for themselves. And adults don't like children advocating for themselves because it makes them respect their children. And we tend not to respect children, but we need to.
When you say advocating for yourself, like advocating what exactly?
So children make you care about what they feel. Children are going to voice, these children especially, voice their concerns and they make you care about it. That is advocating for yourself. Hey, see me. I have feelings. I have perspective. I have feelings about this. I don't want to do this because of this thing. And parents don't like that because it makes them see them as human and not children and property.
Well, I wouldn't say that's making somebody soft. That's just kind of dealing with issues, right? That's going to come across. And I think that's the proper way to raise a child. But we're talking about as an adult. So as an adult, when they have their own thing going on, they have their jobs and then they have their wife, if they decide to go that route. Talking about like soft in that way. I know they mentioned in the video, like guys are not opening the door anymore. All these type of different issues that people are getting away from. So in that way, do you think men are soft?
No. I think their ability to be aware of things is not going to make them soft. It's just going to make them more aware and more empathetic. If you talk to the children now, they're picking up a lot of toxic things. Don't get me wrong. But the way that we are raising our children now, it makes them make you care about them, but it also makes them care about other people. So I think that them caring about other people as well as themselves, it just makes them see things equally and equitably.